All right, so that is Donald Trump speaking at Davos in this very first board of peace that he has managed to put together. And this, of course, is one of his pet projects. And board of peace will oversee firstly Gaza's reconstruction and also in many ways will seek to resolve global conflicts. Donald Trump, of course, claims that he has resolved at least about 8 different wars in different parts of the world. And this is what Donald Trump is signing. Let's dip in and listen to the stuff that's being said there. All right, so this is a key moment in geopolitics of the world. A lot has been said about how Donald Trump is upending the global order that came into existence after the Second World War.
The Board of Peace is now an official international organization. We will now continue the signing ceremonies, beginning with the President of Argentina and the Prime Minister of Armenia.
All right, so these are all the member nations that are joining the Board of Peace. Remember, to become permanent members of this, need to pay a princely sum of $1 billion. And it'll be very, very interesting as to how many of these nations, in fact, come on board by paying that sum. And this, in many ways, is what a lot of people, in fact, turn around and say will undermine the workings of the United Nations that was brought into existence after the Second World War. So the Board of Peace, it's going to be interesting to see as to what its mandate is going to be like. But as Donald Trump says that this is a Board of Peace that will seek to resolve global conflicts, that is why you had the United Nations, a place where nations could come together, talk and resolve their different conflicts. You see the president of Azerbaijan there and other leaders who are a part of this Board of Peace. They're signing this document of the Board of Peace. And my colleague, Siddhant Sibil, is, of course, joining us.
Next.
Siddhant, this is a big moment. We need to see as to how things, of course, go on from here. But Board of Peace, one of Donald Trump's pet projects, is now officially an organization. Tell us what the implications of it is likely to be.
Well, we are all witnessing those visuals. Many will be a little shocked about it, but Donald Trump clearly is trying to make his own United Nations. He reiterated his call on how he resolved the 8 wars, but essentially when it comes to the presence of leaders, we have seen the Argentinian leader, the Armenian leader, the Pakistani Prime Minister present as well. Now, the big focus remains as to what will be the purpose of it, and will it try to take the role of the UN, because that is something that worries many countries, including India. Of course, India is not present at the signing ceremony, and India had got the invite by the US president, but clearly this development that has happened will be watched carefully, understood and studied before India takes any major step.
Indeed. And also, Siddhant, you've been tracking the developments closely from Davos. In many ways, Donald Trump is trying to create a whole new world order. He's waged this tariff war, which has upended the old alliances that the Americans had. And now with this Board of Peace, this is going to be a very interesting power play when it comes to geopolitics, where some of Donald Trump's closest allies may not join Donald Trump's Board of Peace.
Well, yes, clearly here at Davos, there have been a lot of developments, including, of course, the fact that the US president is going to meet the Ukrainian president, Zelensky, and also his address was carefully watched at the World Economic Forum, where he laid out his plan, his vision. He reiterated his claim on Greenland, but only to change it just hours after, saying that there is a deal on it.
Interesting. We'll of course have to wait and watch as to what this Board of Peace in fact can do with respect to the Ukrainian conflict. But this of course is the news that's coming in from the United Kingdom, which has said that it is not ready to sign up to Donald Trump's Board of Peace yet. The United Kingdom is one of the most closest of American allies, and we of course have to wait and watch because there is a lot of stuff that is still in the flux. We see the Pakistani Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif there signing this Board of Peace document. Remember, Shahbaz Sharif is one of those individuals who's been very effusive in his praise for Donald Trump, praising him for the outstanding work that he claims to have done.
And the Prime Minister of the State of Qatar.